Alright, page 224. Psychological fidelity is less concerned with the physical similarities between the simulator and criterion task and more concerned with the target skills and behaviors required to perform the criterion task. In the case of CPR mannequins, for example, simulator training might emphasize the perceptual and decision-making processes that are presented in an emergency situation under high levels of stress and perhaps under environmental challenges, extreme heat or cold. Psychological fidelity is concerned with the training, the skills that would be required of the end user in the criterion task. Physical and psychological fidelity should be seen as complementary, not competing goals, according to Kozlowski and Deschamps in 2004. Still, situations can arise in which too much faith is placed in the physical fidelity without enough attention devoted in the psychological processes. Returning to our CPR example, some mannequins provide very exacting physical fidelity. The sights, sounds, and proprioceptive feedback that would appear to promote excellent perceptual and motor skills transfer. Yet, just using the mannequin without considering how to structure the practice conditions and how to provide augmented feedback would be a major mistake, as the behaviors practiced during training would ultimately be expected to affect transfer to the real emergency situations. These issues of training motor skill behaviors are the main focus of the next two chapters, as we will see how practice is structured and how feedback is augmented during practice determines the quality of motor learning and results from practice. Summary on page 224. Motor learning is a fundamental necessity that we often take for granted, yet it is required for just about every facet of our daily existence. As people practice, they generally pass through stages of learning that describe the current state of their skill proficiency. Although some debate exists concerning how to best characterize these stages, practice results in some basic principles regarding how new motor skills are acquired and specific set of benefits that result. But periods of no practice are also a fact of life, and the retention of learned skills after a lengthy time away from them represents a critical area of research. Retention of skills is affected greatly by their classification. Continued skills are generally retained much more completely and for long periods of time than discrete skills. Warm-up decrement refers to a specific type of retention deficit due to the loss of an activity set. Being able to perform a learned activity in a new situation concerns the issues of skill transfer. Simulators of various kinds can efficiently mimic important elements of a skill when practicing the actual skill would be too costly, dangerous, or impractical. Alright, that ends chapter 9 on page 224. That was just the summary and psychological fidelity. Alright, see y'all later. That is Motor Learning and Performance, Richard Smith and Timothy Lee. Yeah, there you go. For study purposes. Cool. See ya.